could I chat to you guys for a second? Device, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very nice, thank you.
Could I get your opinion on what just unfolded before us? EnVyUs actually lost that first map, Mirage against Fnatic.
From an analytic point of view, I would say they just got wrecked.
And for what reason was that? Why did that wrecked happen?
I mean, like, Fnatic were clearly better at using the mouse and the keyboard and putting it together to like play Counter-Strike.
So, basically they played better.
Yeah.
Cajun, do you have any thoughts on the match? A man of very few words usually, but I put him on the spot now.
It was a good match.
Sweet. Dupree, you guys later today are going to be playing, if I'm not mistaken, NIP, the Ninjas, of whom their owner is behind us. Thoughts on that matchup?
I'm looking forward to play. I'm pretty confident, so I hope we'll go through. That's at least the goal. So.
I do have a bit of intel that you guys, I think, would have preferred to play Titan. Is that correct?
Maybe, but...
Okay, let's say hypothetically if you did, why is it something that you would have preferred over playing NiP?
Because I think our matchup is better against Titan. I think we haven't lost to Titan in a long time, and we haven't actually beaten NIP in a major yet, so I hope that this is going to be the first time.
Well, if there was ever a time, is it right now that could, what was that device, sorry?
Oh, don't worry, I'm just joking with Dupree.
If there was a time that it could happen, surely it would be right now, where you guys are on HLTV, you're at the top of the world, you're number one.
Well, some might say, but I don't think we will be crowned as number one before we win a major, so that is actually the goal, being here. And like, if we don't win, it's a huge disappointment, so...
Yeah, Carrigan, when Dupree was actually talking there, you had a bit of a funny look on your face. You're like, I'm not really too bothered about NiP. What are your thoughts on this whole situation?
I think NiP fits our playstyle, so I'm confident we'll go into the match and hopefully we'll win the match. So I just curious, it doesn't really matter if it's Titan or NiP. We need to beat all teams here at the tournament to win the tournament.
Were you surprised with how they came out yesterday? Because NiP didn't look too strong on like their first showings, but then yesterday they really, they put on a great show against Titan.
I think the first map actually decided the second map because it looked like Titan was completely lost after that throwaway on Cash. If they would have won Cash, the Dust 2 match would be completely different in my opinion, and it just... If you give NiP a lot of space and they can do whatever they want and you don't counter them, then it's hard to play against them, as always.
All right, well, I'm going to take the pressure off you guys now. The predictions for this game, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think EnVyUs can get back into it? Be careful, Hastro is standing behind us. Or do you think Fnatic are going to sweep them?
I think whoever wins, obviously, if Fnatic wins Cobblestone, they will win the entire thing. But I think if EnVyUs will win Cobblestone, I think they will win the series, so, yeah.
Zipex, any thoughts of your own on predictions for this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think that EnVyUs is gonna win Cobblestone, and like the third map, I think it could go either way. They're both good on it, so yeah, I'm gonna root for Fnatic because I want to face Fnatic. Yeah.
All right, well, big thank you to the TSM guys for taking this time out to speak to me. I think we're gonna head into map 2 right about now.
Here it comes. It's going to be Cobblestone next between Envy and Fnatic here at the quarterfinals. Fnatic taking away Mirage first and in quite convincing fashion as well. Similar, what do you think? We had TSM's thoughts there. And now it's going to be Cobblestone. Who's got the lead, you think?
I think Dupree is spot on. I think Dupree's got it right on the money. If Envy win Cobble here, which they're perfectly capable of doing, I think that they'll have the momentum then to go into Cash and just railroad Fnatic on the third map. So for me, I mean, obviously if Fnatic win, that's it, it's done, it's dusted, and Envy will be just be kicking themselves for their slow start, because that's the Envy curse almost. Like, they're always slow to start on a map, and if you give Fnatic too much, we see what happens. They're just going to end up grinding you out of that map, and it's going to be done, right? It's so hard to come back against Fnatic. So for Envy now they're fired up. Now they can just go 100% into this map, and I think we're going to see a totally different Envy here.
Yeah, I'm tempted to agree. I think they definitely will be showing a much stronger version of themselves. I mean, Apex showed up so hard on that Mirage map, but there were some other players that lacked, and I think maybe also just not getting things rolling the way that they're used to on that terrorist side. You know, the pressure that they normally put on, even if they don't always win those first 3 rounds, they usually manage to get it down to, like, 1v1s, and the CT side economy is still so weak. Fnatic wasn't, so they could stand to lose a couple of rounds and still be all right.
It's core players like NBK and Kiyoshima having a slow start that really had a strong impact on Envy's ability to hold on CT side. And then Anders, that one round where they skimped against the eco, they didn't have helmets, they lost control of the B side. NBK got one dinked up close, and that round I think really determined a lot because Envy, had they just crushed that eco, then they have massive money. They can just keep going on. That's right, the Kobe nade.
And the horse face.
But right, they lost that one key round. They lost that one key. Do you clap, Anders? But
Please don't make those jokes.
and then after that, it all went Fnatic's way. They had all the control on Envy. They had all the pressure on Envy. We never saw Kenny get with that op because he never had the money to do so. It's that one round that almost determined the entire CT half for Envy.
Yeah. Maybe this should be like a hashtag, hashtag let Kenny op kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I do expect a different Envy to show up here on Cobblestone. It's going to be the second map of the quarterfinals here, the Counter-Strike major tournament in Cluj-Napoca, and we are ready to get it on the way. Looks like it's going to be Envy starting on the CT side and Fnatic on the terrorist side. I feel like at this level, Cobblestone is now like a big question mark. A lot of it comes down to some specific rounds, and if you win them, you can pretty have a good half either way, no matter if you're on one or the other side.
Yeah, it does seem, it's still a little bit T-sided, I think, but we have seen teams throughout this tournament actually go pretty hard on the CT side, but those are usually like the CT dominant teams that are just like, well, if you give it to us, we're actually just going to completely destroy you. But now we're off to a very quick start again. Fnatic want to make some noise over here. Envy actually going for a hard counter to any kind of rush. They've got 4 players set up on the B site, but this is all part of Fnatic's plan. That's why they're stomping around. They just want to let Envy know, a couple people are over here, be wary, don't rotate over to A site quite yet.
Yeah, and I would say this is kind of a default setup for pretty much both teams, actually. So no really big tricks being thrown out. You see flushers all the way out in that A courtyard by the statue, really trying to make sure no one's sneaking around. And they're letting all of Meister play his games over here. So no sort of major tactical switch from what we normally see right now. And I mean, that could also be a way for everyone to sort of normalize the situation. So let's try to do what we know really well and not throw anything weird, like Fnatic did in the first half pistol on Mirage.
This is a total game of chicken. Who's going to crack first? Who's going to take the risk to peek for info? And neither team is willing to make that mistake. Envy are perfectly happy to just sit and wait, and, well, Fnatic are just doing the same. Now, however, the clock is going to force Fnatic's hand. Down to 35 seconds, and it will be going on to the A site, and Kenny already drops Olafmeister down to 1 HP and gets the second headshot. Overkill for Kenny to start things off here in the pistol. Pronax is also going to be applying the pressure. He gets the dink onto Kenny, but Apex is here and already doing damage, taking out Crims, and he's still alive, up close, catches Pronax with the peekaboo, and now it's just falling apart for Fnatic.
Beautiful round here so far. Flusher and GW trying to bring it back in, but Flusher is trapped in there, trying to see if he can fight his way out, and did a little bit there. That was such a good round, and I've got to say, the really wonderful thing about Kenny's position here is that, first of all, okay, he can get the headshot, but even if he doesn't, he spots them from so far away. It's going to buy a lot of time, and he has Apex on the cross, so he can see if anyone's coming in from the long way around. He's actually very safe in this video. You see he's got the guy by SWAT truck as well there, so he's covered from his left-hand side. He can see them coming and call for backup, and already you can tell here by the replay, the rest of Envy are already rotating in there right there. So even if they go down in that bomb site, backup is going to be there quick. So very smart idea for Envy.
I'm a little surprised that Pronax was so determined to take that fight with Kenny, given Apex was right around that corner. But this is similar to what happened on Mirage, Anders. Strong start for Envy. Now can they actually keep their cool and keep this going for them? Will we see that 5-1, that similar score again? Or will Fnatic just be able to shut them down here? I mean, no bomb plant for Fnatic, but this time no risks taken by Fnatic either. No Kevlar, no nades, just a little bit of money spent on the pistols. So there's still a threat to Envy, but it does seem like Fnatic might be wanting to get up to those AWPs fairly quickly here if this is the game plan, or just cross their fingers and hope they get a plant so they can buy in the next round.
It would be a big benefit if they could manage something like that. I mean, if Fnatic showing a very a lot of restraint here early on, normally this would actually be the round where you go for the pistol armor. But Fnatic making it work anyway. Crims taking down Kenny. Those are all of the SMGs and the one shotgun gone. All they have left are the 2 rifles here in play, and that is the risk of buying all these SMGs. Sometimes you just don't have a sufficient firepower to actually make it work. Apex is sneaking in. I think he did spot the player down there. Crims sneaking through.
We need to go to JW at this point, because JW should be trying to close in on Crims. I mean, on Apex, if Crims spotted him, and there we go. Apex will get the kill, but now that's confirmation. Bomb is still waiting around B side though. 15 seconds left. What are Fnatic doing? Are they really waiting for Kiyoshima to over-rotate? No, this is not an elementary mistake. This is not going to work. Kiyoshima locks down Olofmeister, and now the bomb, only 10 seconds, and Kiyoshima gets the kill. That's it, the round is won. Fnatic have no way of coming back in this. Sure, you get the kill on Apex. This is going to be very expensive for Envy, but Kiyoshima, with his patience and his experience not to rotate off early, just saves the round for Envy.
And maybe a bit of a disjointed. I mean, JW's thinking up behind. I think you're absolutely right. That was a really good idea. And Crims maybe could have made a bit more noise over it to actually force Kiyoshima out. As long as they don't hear anybody else there, why would they, you know, try and force too many people out there? Bit of a shame for Fnatic. Good save by Envy at the end, and ultimately still a very expensive round for them. And Fnatic are going to be excited. JW going for the sawn-off shotgun in an official game in a major tournament here. A little bit bold, maybe. Look at that. He's gone already, but Crims with a refrag. Big kill.
Happy sticking it around a little bit too long there. They are going to try and pressure this Fnatic. The flash into drop. Olofmeister tries to put some pressure on Plateau as well at the same time. And the 4-on-4 does work out in the end. The Fnatic, they have the chance to actually pick up a second rifle here if they do decide to commit to drop, and they just might. Not sure if Apex made noise, but he's actually going to trade places with Olofmeister. There you go. Perfect headshot onto Olof, and the fadeaway as well. He gets out of it scot-free, and that's so important now. Envy have the man advantage.
Did Olof not have a rifle? Or did Apex not pick it up? I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he was so determined to get out of there quick. Kiyoshima's almost gone, and Pronax has actually stolen this sawn-off shotgun. Going to try and check as many corners as he can. They still have time on the Fnatic side here, about 49 seconds. Going to see if they can make their way back from this 3 versus 4. And actually, it is kind of like 2 versus 3 as Kiyoshima and NBK are almost gone. But in Counter-Strike, even 1 health is going to be enough sometimes. Apex revealing his position, missing a couple of shots, and he ends up going down. Trading, though. Kiyoshima in the back lines. Perfect position. 29 seconds left. Almost takes down 1. Crims now with a triple and looking for the ace, but not going to get it. Kenny and MBK, they hold on. And Envy going to win that round.
Now, these rounds are so very expensive for Envy. Man, they're losing so much at the beginning of it as well. Happy actually committing to, he gets the first kill, and this is sometimes, you know, I mean, you just have to go for it. If it's a star player, he's just like, you know what, I'm actually just going to get that spray down, that highlight reel moment. But sometimes that comes back to bite you. He hung around a little bit too long, and that did lead to things getting a little bit too complicated for his team at the beginning of that round.
And Fnatic showing some restraint here and actually not forcing up one more time. And I think Envy would have probably bought this round. You get 2 rounds like that where you're down to 1 or 2 people. Happy still sticking around. They're actually not worried about the Molotov. So pretty good judgment call. Pronax also taking a bit of grenade damage, and Fnatic not really too much equipment this round. Looks like they're going to get shut down.
And NBK decides to hold his ground. He's down to 24. Kenny takes out Flusha. In the meantime, that was over in mid. Apex dunks a nade on Pronax. That drops the bomb carrier. And now Olofmeister is pretty much on his own. 1v5. No real hope of getting a bomb plant. So all he can do at this point is try and get Envy to spend a little bit more money by lurking out a kill. He's got plenty of time to do it as well. And this also gives time, at least a little bit of time for Pronax to start reviewing what needs to happen in this next crucial round here for Fnatic when they're going to be able to afford the rifles.
4-0, but just to sort of remind everybody, they did start off 5-1 against Fnatic on Mirage. So even though it looks pretty convincing right now, we've got to just remember a little bit that Fnatic are a team that can make it back pretty big. Still, I am excited. It does seem like Envy's more fired up. Still, Apex leading the charge here, but I mean, Kenny's close by. Happy also helping out, so maybe a bit more consistency here, and not just one player. 5th round coming up. It's AKs for Fnatic, and no, not a single AWP in play yet.
Smoke. A bit of an indirect smoke as well. And this is, I mean, an anti-rush setup here for Envy in case Fnatic wants to go for the risk of getting out here onto Plateau very quickly. Envy, they're already prepared for it. And now Kiyoshima, he's even got that pop flash locked and loaded if he wants to get it out there in case Fnatic try to push through the smoke for some reason, try to set something up. And so now, well, it comes down to whether or not they decide to commit. I mean, both teams, again, it's very similar to the beginning of this. Although, as I say that, it looks like Apex just got caught out of position somehow. Went for a peek and underpass and paid for it. Flusha was there, and now Kenny having to take the risk to bring it back, and he actually wins the duel, but then Flusha with the perfectly timed nade returns that frag, retains the advantage for Fnatic.
Really, really good job. And we'll see if Kiyoshima's position here is actually going to be paying off. He's got some help as well. NBK right nearby, and the bomb's making his way back. Happy, the sole defender on A, which means for the moment, Envy have done a good job at positioning themselves. And kind of as I say that, NBK is charging on out here. And this could be a really big problem. Did they hear something that made them think it was going to be an A push? Kiyoshima going to be dead. Yeah, JW just not a fair fight with the shotgun there. and NBK and Happy should probably try and save what they have here.
I agree. I mean, NBK still, I mean, if he can get one more kill here, it's still very risky, the fact that he wants to take this, but if NBK's got the confidence to take the fights with Olofmeister and win them, more power to him. He is going to get caught here by JW, but the smoke is down, and actually he has a way out of this. JW, I think, was close enough to hear that reload, though, but JW actually goes in with the shotgun. Only this guy. He had an AK, but guess what? I'm actually going to make a little bit more money on my off time. He had a second job, Anders. You know, he's got a rent to pay. So go ahead, get that $900 in your pocket, JW.
Yeah, that was very impressive indeed. Just making the most out of the round, and he's going to need it as well because he's going to have to rebuy everything here. Happy taking him out, and that's going to be 4-1.
And that's the whole import here, is that Happy gets that extra frag. That's what they were looking for. They want to make sure that somebody here on Fnatic is spending all of their money, that they can't just full drop across the board and maintain a certain level. Envy have the money to full buy themselves, so now this is the key round right here, Anders.
4-1. I do want to point out that initial position that kioShiMa was holding over by the plateau is only really good early in the game. If Fnatic start getting a lot of money, they're going to be buying Molotovs a lot more than they have now. They'll check that corner with Molotovs, and so I just want everyone to keep an eye on that. If kioShiMa goes back there again and again, eventually he's going to be fired out, and that could be lethal.
And he'll get roasted. Forward position being held by Flusha, though, and Apex is in a very close spot as well with Kenny there to support. This is a bit of a bait and switch, a 1-2 combo. Kenny would draw the attention, and then Apex would be there as well. And the steps away is what draws Flusha out, and that's exactly what you're talking about. Either Kenny misses the shot, or he draws Flusha out into the open, and they bring it back to a 4-on-4. But Fnatic, in the meantime, Flusha was alone. They're going to go out onto this B side, and Olofmeister in his favorite spot on the map, ready to do work.
Nice grenades in on the one side, double grenade down towards MBK, and he's down to a bit half health. kioShiMa's already down on that plateau, and Olof sneaking around, and he's going to catch MBK. He's trying to hide behind the pottery there. It's going to be Happy to drop JW, and back into a 2 versus 3 there. Apex going down, Kenny and Happy, they got to get back in this. The bomb is planted, and they don't have no health left at all. Olof looking for the shot here, switching between Burst and Pronax is going to be the one cleaning up. And that's the second round here for Fnatic, back-to-back, leaving Envy in a very tricky spot. And that's where those early rounds come into play. They lost so many rifles, Envy, that 2-round losses, and they're going to have to eco.
Yeah, exactly. And these flashes, man, they're so, like, MBK doesn't even know where he's getting shot from at that point. He's just turned away, hoping that he's going to regain his vision at some point. You got to give it to Olofmeister as well. Half-flashed. The key fight right there where he's holding onto that side. He's half-flashed, and he still gets the headshot on the CT man pushing through up onto him. I mean, Olof now, you know, contrary to Mirage, where he was almost rocking a 007, a Bond, now he's actually, you know, hit the ground running here in Cobblestone. You can already see the difference that that's going to make early on here for Fnatic. If he's here to lead the charge, and he's also your plateau man, that one spot that's so important on this map, Anders.
Yeah, well, I think we've referred to him a couple of times as sort of a specialist player on that plateau, and it seems like almost every team has one because it's such an important position. Someone has to try and play it. Bit of a stack going on here for Envy in the B-bomb site. See if Fnatic have a way of figuring this out. So far, they are approaching this round very, very carefully. Not want to give anything up early.
Now, Envy are kind of getting in the middle. They aren't quite sure where this is going to go. They want to have a stack wherever Fnatic decide to commit with the bomb. I mean, the bomb currently is waiting outside of A. There will be 2 players here for Envy ready to greet them. Apex getting very close to the exit of Underpass as well, up to that slope. And both of them, in fact, Kenny is here to support him as well. Both of them around different angles. So there's the flash. This one is actually supposed to work onto Apex, but he was turned away, and now they know the game is up. There's the first shot by Crims. The rifles are here ready to greet them, but Kenny still finds the kill on Pronax.
A nice refrag, and actually Kenny picking up JW as well. Now it's getting a little bit trickier. Flusha, he's got to stay alive, otherwise everyone will get back to B. He's going to go and charge a little bit out. Takes a fight with 3 people all at the same time. Flusha now just has to stay alive and wait for death to come, and it's going to be kioShiMa with a deagle shot right through the panel. Happy hiding in that B bomb site is going to stop the bomb from going down. What a plague! And Olof is going to be dropping next. NBK picking that one up. That was an interesting round. When they lose 2 to Kenny in the middle, it's fine for them to rotate back, but Flusha was way too quick going out there and taking the fight with 3 people all at the same time. That might have been too much.
Yeah, he just got pinned down. But that's, I mean, the masterclass is between Apex and Kenny in the middle there, just managing to bog down that Fnatic push, and then the kill onto JW. Now that puts Fnatic back on eco. Then Fnatic were so excited about having won that key buy round where both teams were spending all of their money to get fully equipped with rifles, and now they're right back to pistols themselves. It's tit for tat right now at the beginning of this half. And now, while the anti-rush nades do go out for Envy, they wanted to try and counter Fnatic if they went for a quick plateau play. But Fnatic, they've got something else in mind. I mean, the bomb is still here on the B side.
They've already taken a bit of damage there. I think there were some early grenades coming out, and they have put their flashbangs and smokes inside, see if they can actually find a way in. Bomb goes down, and I think that's probably the end of any chance for a bomb plant here. As soon as you see that, you're going to be rotating the rest of the troops on in. Happy looking for a shot. He's patient man there. Not going to be getting the kill, sadly. Still decent round here. Envy not losing anybody, and we're going to be at 6-2.
You kind of have to wonder sometimes if that's miscommunication, or if Pronax knew he had the bomb to be running in first like that and just drop it out in the middle of nowhere, give his team zero chance of actually achieving anything.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just like a mistake. I think maybe he just didn't know that he had the bomb. That's not going to change things here because JW still has his AWP after that eco. Good eco management actually here coming out from Fnatic for them to be able to afford a sniper rifle on top of a good nade count going into this.
The one eco round from Envy here is going to change the course of the first half so much. Fnatic, they are needing a way back into this. He's going to get his first kill there. Olofmeister unhappy, who even had the AWP and the angle there, so that's a very, very important opening frag.
That's going to be Kyoshima hopping. JW boosted up on the plateau at the back there, though.
He could have gone
on the balcony, exactly. If Kyoshima takes the risk and gets out there too far, Olofmeister right on the edge, and there's the flick shot from Kyoshima. He realizes JW's up there as well. He gets wallbang down to 6 HP through that box. JW looking to get lucky with the wallbang, but there's 3 players here for Fnatic. It's a 3-on-3, but Kyoshima has 6 HP, Kenny with 5, and Kyo lands the wallbang on JW that snuffs him.
That's amazing. Almost gets that shot as well, but MBK's going to be there now. It's down to Crims, 1 versus 2, looking for the shot. That looked like it should have been a headshot. He almost takes down MBK. If he had a grenade right now, that wasn't a smoke, it would have been beautiful, but he's going to be getting close as well, getting down MBK, and now it's a 1 versus 1, and Kenny's actually hiding inside the smoke right now, trying to see if he can find a way to kill Crims. The bomb is down there, and it's all on Crims. He's the one who's going to have to move, so I think Kenny's playing this correctly right now, just waiting and seeing if he can bait him out. That bomb is dropped, and there's only 20 seconds left. Crims looking for a way in.
You know just how low Crims is. Kenny's actually changing up. He's got that AK out now. He's going to be working his way out, and Crims hits the shot. Kenny does not get the clutch for Envy, and Fnatic will be winning that round. Even saving the AWP for JW in the end, but that Kenny thinking that Crims had the time to back out makes you wonder exactly what was going on. If Crims was trying to come around from connector, the mind games, but uncharacteristic mistake made by NBK pushing forward so aggressively when he had no HP. I'm really wondering, I guess